What if I told you your greatest enemy isn't the world, it's the voice in your head? You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. This year, with distractions louder than ever and mental peace harder to find, mastering your mind isn't optional. It's survival. Have you ever caught yourself spiraling into fear, overthinking every decision, doubting your worth, and you don't even know why? You're not broken, you're programmed. And today, we're about to tear down the blueprint. This isn't some fluffy motivation. This is raw, Buddhist-rooted truth fused with brain science, a reality check and a toolkit. The real war is internal. And if you don't take back control, the chaos outside will win. But here's the truth. You can rewire your mind, and I'll show you how. If you're going to get anything out of this video, just get that. That's all you need to know in life. Stick around. There's a powerful bonus lesson at the end. Number 1. Why controlling your thoughts is key to success. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. In 2025, with information overload, constant comparison, and endless distractions, your mind isn't just under pressure, it's under siege. But here's the deeper question. Are you riding your thoughts, or are you being dragged by them? Most people don't even realize they're not the driver anymore. Their mind races from one worry to another, spinning in cycles of overthinking, fear, and regret. That voice in your head, the one that keeps replaying mistakes or predicting worst-case scenarios, has it become your master? In Buddhist philosophy, the mind is compared to a wild elephant. Left untrained, it destroys everything in its path. But once trained, it becomes the strongest force you can harness. Imagine trying to build a life of purpose, peace, and focus, while your own mind fights against you. That's the reality for many, not because they're weak, but because no one taught them the truth. Controlling your thoughts isn't optional, it's survival. There's a story about a monk who once said, "I have conquered kings, not by sword, but by silence." That silence came from mastering the battlefield of his own mind. And in 2025, your battlefield isn't external, it's within. Success isn't about doing more, it's about thinking less, thinking clearly. Let me ask you, what kind of inner voice have you been listening to today? Is it kind or is it cruel? Is it calm or constantly panicked? Here's the brutal truth. If you don't control your mind, someone else will. Society, social media, toxic people, fear, past trauma, they'll all plant seeds. And those seeds become beliefs. And beliefs, they become your identity. That's why so many people stay stuck. Not because they lack ambition, but because their thoughts have turned into invisible chains. But Buddhism offers a way out. It teaches that the mind is not your enemy, it's your tool. It's not about suppressing thoughts, it's about observing them, like clouds drifting across the sky. You are not your thoughts, you are the sky. The moment you realize that, your healing begins. Start with small steps. Begin your day with intention, not scrolling, not worrying. Just a simple statement. Today, I choose peace. Spend 5 minutes in silence. Just breathe. Watch your thoughts without judgment. When negativity arises, and it will, don't fight it. Acknowledge it like a passing cloud. Then release it again and again. Over time, you'll notice something extraordinary. The storm inside you begins to quiet down. One day, you'll look back and realize that the same mind that once caused you pain became your greatest source of power. That is the gift of mindfulness. That is the freedom of control. So ask yourself this: whose voice is shaping your future? And is it time you took the reins back? Because the wild elephant of your mind will trample your peace or carry you to greatness. The choice is yours. Discipline your mind and you free your soul. 2. Understanding your subconscious mind. All that we are is the result of what we have thought, but most people don't even realize what they're thinking. Not really, because the thoughts you repeat every day don't just disappear, they sink into the soil of your subconscious. And your subconscious? It doesn't argue, it doesn't filter, it accepts, it absorbs, it grows whatever you plant. So the question is, what kind of seeds have you been sowing lately, fear or faith? Imagine this. Every complaint, every worry, every anxious thought is like a seed. Plant it once, maybe nothing happens. But plant it daily, feed it with attention, and soon your inner world becomes a garden of weeds, overgrown with doubts, insecurities, and invisible walls that keep you small. And you don't even know how it got there. That's the danger of unconscious living. You sleep with your mind wide open, letting in whatever noise, fear, or negativity the world throws at you. Then you wake up and wonder why you feel heavy, tired, stuck. But here's the truth Buddhism teaches us. Your reality is shaped not by what's outside, but by what takes root inside. Your subconscious mind, quiet, hidden, and powerful, is creating your future while you're busy scrolling, reacting, and surviving. Buddha didn't say, you become what you consume, but if he lived in 2025, he might have. Because what you feed your mind matters more than most people ever realize. So let me ask you, are your repeated thoughts helping you or harming you? Are you filling your mind with hope or hopelessness? Because repetition creates reality. What you hear repeatedly, especially right before sleep, becomes the blueprint for your actions. That's why ancient teachers advised silence before bed, why monks meditate in the stillness of night. It's the sacred window when your conscious mind relaxes and the subconscious listens. Before you close your eyes tonight, try this. Instead of replaying the worst parts of your day, repeat a mantra, something empowering, something healing, like, I am enough, I am at peace, I release what no longer serves me. You don't need to believe it fully at first, just plant the seed. Visualize the life you want, calm, focused, purposeful. See it, feel it, and let it sink in. This is not wishful thinking. This is reprogramming. Just like physical fitness takes time, mental conditioning needs practice, and it starts by protecting your soil, your subconscious. Be mindful of what you consume, the media you scroll, the words you speak, the people you surround yourself with. Each one is planting something inside you. You are the gardener. And every thought is a seed. In 6 months, a year, what kind of garden will you wake up to? Buddhism reminds us, you are not stuck. You are just growing the wrong thoughts. But once you become aware, you can choose again. Choose thoughts that uplift, speak words that heal, visualize the life that aligns with your truth. Because when you master your inner world, the outer world starts to shift too. Control the soil, and you control the harvest. 3. How thoughts shape your reality. With our thoughts, we make the world. But the question is, what kind of world are you creating with yours? Every moment, you're holding a brush. Every thought, every belief, every silent whisper in your mind is a stroke of paint on the canvas of your life. The problem? Most people don't realize they're the artist. They think they're just spectators, reacting to what's around them, not what's within them. Your thoughts are not harmless. They are commands. They shape your posture, your energy, your future, and over time, they become your identity. If you think, I'm not good enough, you'll walk like it, speak like it, live like it, until it becomes true. Not because it was true, but because you painted it so many times, it turned into your reality. Buddha's wisdom wasn't poetic metaphor, it was a direct instruction. Change your thoughts, and you change your world. Let me ask you, what reality are your thoughts building right now? When you wake up, do you start your day thinking about possibilities or problems? And if your thoughts were suddenly visible to the world, every doubt, every judgment, every "I can't," would you be proud of what you see? Because that's the world you're living in and building. Here's where it gets powerful. You can choose different thoughts. This is not about toxic positivity. This is about conscious creation. Language is one of the fastest ways to shift your mindset. Every time you say, "I can't," you give away your power. But when you replace it with, "I choose to learn," you take it back. That simple change rewires the mind from limitation to growth. Start with small practices. Each day, write down one empowering thought. Just one. Something that uplifts you. I am capable of growth. I am learning to trust myself. These thoughts may seem small, but repeated daily, they become the structure of your inner world. You don't build a palace in one day, but brick by brick, thought by thought, it rises. Before you go to sleep, visualize the life you want as if it already exists. Don't beg the universe. Don't plead with fate. See it, feel it, believe it. Not because it's magic, but because your subconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. It simply obeys. And when you repeatedly feed it images of success, peace, or confidence, it starts pulling you toward them. Thoughts alone don't fix everything, but they are the foundation of everything. A mind full of fear creates a fearful life. A mind anchored in self-belief, that's unstoppable. So the next time a thought enters your mind, ask yourself, am I painting fear or am I painting faith? Because in the end, you are the artist of your own existence. Think clearly, paint boldly, create a life worth living. 4. How to stop overthinking and negative thoughts. Overthinking is like a washing machine, spinning endlessly, making noise but cleaning nothing. You feel tired, drained, overwhelmed, yet nothing has changed. The problem isn't just the thoughts, it's the trap of being stuck inside them. Your mind replays the same scenarios, the same fears, the same what-ifs, hoping for clarity. But clarity never comes through mental chaos. In fact, it's the chaos itself that blinds you. And the longer you stay there, the more tangled it becomes. The Buddha said, "Let go of anger. Let go of pride. When you are bound by nothing, you go beyond sorrow." But how do we let go when the mind refuses to slow down? If you're stuck in a thought loop right now, ask yourself, what thought are you clinging to and why? What are you trying to control through thinking? Most of the time, overthinking is a mask for fear. We think because we don't want to feel. We spiral because we're scared to sit with uncertainty. But beneath every worry, there's a truth, a belief, a story you're telling yourself. What truth lies beneath your worry? Is it that you fear being judged, or that you don't trust life to unfold? The first step to breaking free is awareness. Pause. Don't resist the thought. Don't fight it. Name it. Say, this is anxiety. This is fear of failure. This is doubt. Naming diffuses the emotion. It creates space, and in that space, your power returns. One of the most effective tools from Buddhist practice is mindfulness, noticing without judgment. You can't stop thoughts from arising, but you can choose what you do with them. And when a negative spiral begins, use the stop method. Stop, take a breath, observe the thought, proceed mindfully, That single breath can interrupt 1,000 anxious ones. The second step is action. Thoughts feed on stillness, but not the peaceful kind, the paralyzing kind. If your mind won't stop, don't sit there and suffer. Move, go for a walk, write it out. Focus on your breath. The moment you ground your body, your mind begins to follow. You return to the present, not the imagined pain of a future that doesn't exist. Overthinking convinces you that you're solving something, but you're not. You're escaping the discomfort of stillness. And stillness is where clarity lives. It's where you can finally hear the soft, calm voice beneath all the noise. The voice that says, "You're okay. This moment is enough." You don't have to fix every thought. You don't have to fight every fear. You only have to notice it, name it, and return to now. Do that enough times, and your mind becomes your ally, not your enemy. So ask yourself today, what loop do I need to break? What peace am I postponing in the name of worry? Because you're not here to live in circles. You're here to move forward with courage, with calm, with clarity. Free your mind, and your life will follow. 5. The power of mindfulness and self-awareness. Peace doesn't come from the outside. It never has. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. These aren't just poetic words from the Buddha. They are a direct instruction. But in today's world, we're trained to look everywhere else. More achievement, more scrolling, more stimulation, more noise. And somewhere in that endless chase, we lose the only thing that truly matters: presence. We drift through our days with our bodies in one place and our minds in another. Always thinking, always planning, always reacting. But mindfulness. Mindfulness is your flashlight in a dark cave. It doesn't change the cave. It simply shows you where you really are. And that awareness alone has the power to change everything. When was the last time you truly felt the present moment, not just passed through it? Not thinking about what's next or what went wrong, but actually here, alive, breathing. Most people don't realize they're asleep because they're busy, they're productive, but inside, they're numb. That's the tragedy of unconscious living. You miss your own life while living it. The moment-to-moment beauty is drowned out by endless mental noise. And the truth is, you can't control your mind until you first learn to witness it. That's where self-awareness begins, with a single breath. Try it now. Breathe in slowly. And notice what happens when you actually pay attention. Your thoughts pause, your body softens. For that one breath, you're here. That's the anchor. 3 conscious breaths, that's all it takes to return to clarity. You don't need to escape your life. You just need to stop abandoning it with your thoughts. Throughout your day, ask yourself, am I here or lost in thought? This simple question can save you from hours of unconscious reactivity. Are you reacting out of habit, fear, or stress? Or are you responding with awareness and calm? That split second of self-check is your superpower. It gives you the chance to choose. And choice is freedom. Start with just one daily activity done in full mindfulness. It could be drinking tea, taking a walk, washing your hands, anything. But do it with all of your attention. No rushing, no distractions, just full presence. You'll notice something strange. It feels sacred. Even the simplest action becomes meditation when done with awareness. And in those small moments, your mind begins to quiet. Not because you forced it, but because it finally feels safe to rest. You don't need to live in a monastery to master your mind. You need to remember who's in charge. Your awareness is the watcher behind every thought, every feeling, every reaction. And when you strengthen that awareness, you stop being a victim of your mind and start becoming its master. So today, choose to wake up, not tomorrow, not when life slows down. Now ask yourself often, am I here? Because peace isn't found in a future goal. It's already here, waiting inside your breath. When you become aware, you become free. 6. Learn to reprogram your mind. Your mind is like software, powerful, capable, and endlessly adaptable. But just like any system, if you don't update it, it keeps running on outdated code. Old fears, inherited beliefs, limiting patterns, all quietly running in the background, shaping how you see yourself, how you speak to yourself, and how you live your life. And unless you pause to reprogram that inner world, the outer world never really changes. The Buddha once said, "Just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our past over and over again." It's not a one-time shift. It's a daily practice of letting go and installing something new. Take a moment and ask yourself, what thought pattern needs deleting and rewriting in your mind right now? Maybe it's, I'm not good enough. Maybe it's, success is for other people, not me. Or perhaps it's a voice that sounds like someone from your past, repeating the same judgment over and over. Whatever it is, it's not the truth. It's just programming. And anything programmed can be rewritten. Start by identifying the belief. Don't fight it, just observe it. Then ask yourself, who gave me this thought? Was it a parent, a teacher, society? So many of our beliefs are inherited, not chosen. But you're not here to be a copy of someone else's fears. You're here to become conscious of them and change the story. That's the power of reprogramming. Affirmations are your keyboard. Repeated words become reality. Say them out loud. Feel them. I am learning to trust myself. I am not my past. I am the choices I make now. Speak them especially when you don't believe them. That's when your brain is listening. Combine them with visualization. See yourself acting with confidence. Picture yourself letting go of guilt, choosing peace, owning your voice. The brain responds to imagery. The more you repeat it, the more real it becomes. Not because it's wishful thinking, but because you are literally building new neural pathways. Here's a shift that will change your inner code instantly. Replace guilt with responsibility. Guilt says, I messed up and I'm broken. Responsibility says, I may have messed up, but I can respond differently now. That subtle shift frees you from shame and gives you back your power. And just like a computer needs the right software, your mind needs the right input. Read or listen to wisdom daily. Feed your brain with thoughts that elevate you. Not mindless noise, not emotional pollution, but truths that align you with peace, strength, and self-awareness. The more you nourish your inner world, the more your outer life reflects it. So today, ask yourself, what belief am I ready to uninstall? And what empowering thought am I ready to upload? Don't let your mind stay stuck in old versions of you. You're not here to repeat, you're here to evolve. Update your thoughts, upgrade your life. The code is yours to write. 7. How to develop mental toughness and resilience. Life doesn't ask if you're ready before it sends the storm. It simply arrives, unannounced, unpredictable, and often unwanted. But resilience is not about avoiding the storm. It's about learning to bend without breaking. Like bamboo, flexible, rooted, unshakable. The Buddha said, the mind is like water. When it's turbulent, it's difficult to see. When it's calm, everything becomes clear. But how do you remain calm when everything around you is chaos? How do you stay grounded when life tests every ounce of your strength? Start by asking yourself, what pain can I learn from instead of run from? We're conditioned to escape discomfort, to numb it, deny it, distract ourselves. But what if discomfort is your teacher, not your enemy? The moments that feel like breakdowns are often breakthroughs in disguise. Think of one challenge you once feared. Now look at who you became because of it. What has strengthened you that once scared you? That is the seed of resilience. Mental toughness doesn't mean emotionless. It means emotionally aware, but not ruled by emotion. It means when anxiety whispers, "You can't handle this," you respond, "Watch me." It starts with training your mind to sit with discomfort, not react to it. Visualize yourself like a mountain, still, strong, present. When the winds of stress or fear blow through, let them pass. You don't have to move with them. Your strength is in your stillness. One powerful way to build resilience is to practice voluntary discomfort. Not as punishment, but as training. Fasting for a day, sitting in silence, waking up earlier than your mind wants. Each act teaches you, I don't need to obey every impulse. It rewires your brain to embrace discipline, not avoid difficulty. And in moments of real challenge, you'll be ready, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. But even strength needs softness. Resilience also means accepting what you cannot control, understanding impermanence. The job you lost, the person who walked away, the version of you that no longer fits. Let it go. Everything passes. So will this. When you stop clinging, you stop suffering. The mind finds peace not by holding on, but by surrendering to what is. So, the next time life shakes your foundation, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Don't suppress the emotion. Breathe through it. Don't run. Remain. This is how the mind becomes like water, still, deep and wise. And remember, resilience isn't built in the absence of struggle. It's forged through it. Every storm you face is shaping you into something unbreakable, not hard and rigid, but flexible, aware and strong. You are not made to break. You are made to rise, bend like the bamboo, stand like the mountain, flow like the water, and trust. Your mind is stronger than you think. 8. Daily mental habits for long-term success. Success doesn't arrive all at once. It's built silently in the small choices you make every day. Not in grand gestures, but in simple, repeated acts of discipline. Tiny drops of water, falling again and again, eventually carve valleys into mountains. That's the power of daily mental habits. The Buddha said, "A disciplined mind brings happiness." Not just achievement, not just results. Happiness, because when your mind is aligned with your actions, there is peace. Ask yourself, what is one micro habit I can start today for a stronger mind? Not a life overhaul, just one shift, one breath of awareness before reacting, one moment of silence before reaching for your phone, one act of gratitude before beginning the day. These little rituals, practiced with intention, shape your identity over time. The key isn't complexity, it's consistency. Because even the best wisdom means nothing if it's not applied daily. Start in the morning. Don't just wake up and dive into noise. Begin with 3 deep breaths, a whispered thank you, or 3 minutes of stillness. Let the day meet you, not the other way around. When you start from presence, you carry it with you. When you start from stress, it chases you. In the evening, reflect. Not to judge yourself, but to understand. Ask, what lesson did I learn today? What small win can I acknowledge? What weight am I ready to release before sleep? This 3-point evening ritual is how you rewire the subconscious. By ending your day with awareness, you shape how tomorrow begins. Now look at your digital world, your phone, your apps, your scrolling habits. Are they designed for your growth or your distraction? You can't build a peaceful mind in a chaotic environment. Design your phone like a sanctuary, remove distractions, install calm. Add reminders that breathe life into your purpose, affirmations, calming music, teachings that uplift you. Let your tech serve your clarity, not cloud it. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be deliberate. Choose one mental habit and do it until it becomes who you are, because what you do daily is who you become permanently, and every small act of discipline is a vote for the future you want to live in. Now pause and ask yourself, how consistent am I with what I say I want? Do your actions align with your intentions? Because the gap between dream and reality is bridged by habits. No one sees you doing the inner work, but it shows in your peace, in your energy, in the way you walk through life, calmly anchored while the world rushes past. So remember, success is not one massive step. It's 1,000 quiet ones, one breath, one choice, one thought at a time. You're carving valleys. You're shaping a mind of discipline, depth, and direction. Let today be the day you choose small, consistent steps toward a powerful mind. Because if you master your habits, you will master your life. 9. How to control your emotions and stay calm. Your emotions are not your enemies. They are signals, not commands. Yet most of us live as if every emotional wave is a tidal force dragging us under. Imagine emotions as waves, strong, unpredictable, sometimes overwhelming, but always passing. You can learn to surf them, feel them fully, without building your identity on them. That is emotional mastery. And in a world that constantly tests your patience, pokes your wounds, and demands instant reactions, this mastery isn't optional. It's freedom. Buddha said, "Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die." But many of us sip that poison daily, mistaking reaction for strength and silence for weakness. So ask yourself, what emotion is driving my actions right now? Is it fear, resentment, guilt, or peace? Most of the time, our reactions come not from clarity, but from unprocessed emotions. We snap, we withdraw, we overthink. Not because we're broken, but because we've never been taught to pause. That's the first shift. Pause. Just 3 conscious breaths, or 5 minutes of silence before replying, deciding, or speaking. That space creates wisdom. It's the difference between reacting from your wound and responding from your awareness. Next time anger arises, don't suppress it. Observe it. Ask, what is this showing me? Because anger often masks something deeper: hurt, unmet needs, or fear. When you trace it back, you don't just cool down, you grow up emotionally. Journaling is one of the simplest yet most profound tools here. Not to vent endlessly, but to transform raw emotion into refined understanding. Write what you feel, then ask why. And keep asking until you meet the truth beneath the fire. Emotional control doesn't mean becoming robotic. It means becoming rooted, like a tree that bends with the wind but never forgets its ground. You still feel everything, but you don't let those emotions dictate your direction. You choose to feel with awareness. This is what it means to be free, not to never feel pain, but to no longer be enslaved by it. Reframing is another tool. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Every difficult emotion is a teacher disguised as discomfort. Let it guide you to the parts of yourself that need more care, more truth, more light. The goal isn't to suppress or deny emotion. It's to meet it with compassion, process it with wisdom, and respond with intention. So, Can you respond from clarity instead of reaction? Can you hold space for discomfort without losing your center? That's the training. Like a monk sitting in a storm, not untouched by the rain, but not swept away by it either. Your mind becomes calm not when life stops being chaotic, but when you stop letting emotions drive your choices without question. Control your emotions, and you unlock a new version of yourself, wise, grounded, and clear. Because peace isn't the absence of emotion, it's the presence of awareness in the middle of it. 10. Breaking free from limiting beliefs. Most people live inside prisons they never realize they've built, not made of steel but of stories, invisible cages shaped by limiting beliefs. I'm not smart enough, I'll always fail. This is just who I am. These thoughts don't just echo in your mind, they become the walls of your reality. But here's the truth. Those walls aren't real. You're not trapped. The door has always been open. Buddha once said, "There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path." But to walk that path, you must first stop dragging the weight of who you think you are, based on beliefs that were never truly yours. Ask yourself, who would I be without this belief? What would happen if you no longer repeated that inner story that says you're not enough, not ready, or not worthy? Most of these beliefs aren't born from truth. They were planted by childhood experiences, society's expectations, or someone else's voice you mistook as your own. But every belief has a beginning, and anything that had a beginning can be rewritten. Start by identifying one belief that holds you back. Trace it to its source. Who told you that? When did you start believing it? And is it objectively true, or just a thought you've rehearsed so many times it began to feel like fact? Then challenge it. Interrogate that belief the way a wise teacher would. Is this helping me grow or keeping me small? Replace it. Instead of, "I'm not good enough," try, "I'm learning, evolving, and showing up stronger every day." It's not blind positivity, it's conscious reprogramming. You must understand, beliefs shape perception, and perception shapes experience. If you believe the world is against you, you'll only notice resistance. But if you believe life is guiding you, you'll start seeing lessons where you used to see failure. This isn't magic, it's mindfulness, and it's yours to practice. Visualization helps too. See yourself acting with courage, speaking with clarity, living as the version of you who has already shed that old belief. The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between imagined and real. It just responds to what you consistently repeat. Surround yourself with people who reflect your potential, not your past. Spend time with voices that uplift, challenge, and stretch your thinking. Because your environment, what you hear, who you speak with, what you consume, either waters the seeds of freedom or reinforces the cage. You get to choose. And maybe the most important shift of all, stop asking for permission to believe in yourself. You're not here to live out someone else's story. You're here to write your own. What truth contradicts the old story you've been repeating? Hold on to that truth, repeat it, live it. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you desire is a belief you've outgrown. Your mind will always believe what you tell it. Tell it something empowering, something freeing, something true. The cage was never locked. It never had to be. You were born free. It's time to remember. 11th, the power of affirmations and positive self-talk. There's a voice inside your mind that speaks to you every day, not in shouts, but in whispers. It comments when you look in the mirror, when you make a mistake, when you dare to dream. And most days, it's not a cheerleader, it's a critic. You trip up and it says, "Typical." You pause before taking a risk, and it reminds you, you're not ready. But what if that voice isn't the truth? What if it's just a habit, a loop of phrases you didn't choose but now repeat like gospel? Buddha said, "Words have the power to destroy and heal." When words are both true and kind, they can change the world. And that includes your inner world. Your words are seeds. Every sentence you say to yourself takes root in the soil of your subconscious. Speak shame, and you'll harvest self-doubt. Speak kindness, and you'll grow resilience. Ask yourself, what's the one phrase I've been saying to myself too often? I'm such a mess. I can't ever get it right. Now ask, would I ever say that to someone I love? Then why allow it inside your own mind? Self-talk is self-training. Every word is programming your brain to either fear or freedom. It starts small. Create 3 I am affirmations that feel like medicine to your old wounds. Not wild fantasies, but truths you're ready to grow into. I am enough as I am. I am learning to trust myself. I am grounded, calm, and capable. Say them out loud every morning, before the noise of the world can get in. Speak them like you mean it, even if you don't, especially if you don't. Because repetition rewires reality. The more you hear something, the more you believe it. When that negative voice shows up, and it will, pause. Catch the thought. Name it. Replace it. Instead of "I'm failing," say "I'm figuring it out." Instead of "I always mess things up," try "I'm learning from this moment." You're not lying to yourself. You're speaking truth-based kindness. And kindness isn't weakness. It's strength directed inward. Want to take it deeper? Try the mirror practice. Every day, look into your own eyes and speak those affirmations. No distractions, just you, meeting yourself with compassion. At first, it might feel awkward or even emotional, but that's a sign the words are hitting places that have been neglected for too long. Healing begins when attention meets intention. You've spoken doubt into your life long enough. Now it's time to speak life, not to impress others, but to empower yourself. Are you speaking love or criticism into your mind? Choose love. Choose words that uplift, that remind you who you truly are beneath fear and noise. Your mind listens, your cells listen, life itself listens. Speak like someone whose words shape their world, because they do. This is not fluff. It's not wishful thinking. It's deliberate mental cultivation. And in a noisy world that profits from your self-doubt, your decision to speak kindness is an act of quiet rebellion. Start today. Your future self is listening. 12. Visualization and mental rehearsal techniques. Close your eyes and imagine this. You wake up, sunlight pouring into your room. Before touching your phone, before remembering your to-do list, you pause and see something, not with your eyes, but with your mind. You see your most mindful self. Calm, clear, intentional. You're not chasing the day, you're leading it. This isn't fantasy. It's mental rehearsal, and it's how you begin shaping the world inside you, so the world outside you doesn't take control. Buddha said, "What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract." Yet most of us spend our mornings rehearsing anxiety instead of peace, tension instead of clarity. We wake up already running mental scripts of what could go wrong. But what if you chose differently? Your mind is a rehearsal hall, not just a record of the past, but a factory of the future. And every scene you play in your head is a message to your nervous system. This is who I am. This is what I expect. So the question is, are you rehearsing fear or faith every morning? When you anticipate disaster, you're not just predicting it, you're practicing it. Your heart races, your breath shortens, your choices shrink. But when you visualize strength, calm, and grace, you start to rewire the subconscious to expect those outcomes, and your body follows. Visualization is not about wishful thinking. It's spiritual training. Just like an athlete rehearses a winning shot before stepping on the court, you can rehearse your peace before chaos shows up. You can visualize responding to a stressful email with composure. You can picture yourself speaking with kindness when anger wants to erupt. You can feel yourself walking through the day with grounded focus, even when everything around you is spinning. Because the mind doesn't know the difference between what's imagined vividly and what's lived physically. That's the power. The mind rehearses everything it expects to become. Take 3 minutes each morning. Sit still, breathe deeply, then picture your ideal day. Not perfect, but mindful. See yourself navigating conversations with patience. See yourself staying present while working. Feel the energy of someone who chooses peace on purpose. Add emotion. Emotion is the glue that makes the image stick. It turns imagination into belief. If you feel calm, powerful, grateful, your body starts to act like it's already true. And here's a secret. Visualize the hard moments too. The email that frustrates you. The person who tests your patience. Mentally walk through it. Visualize yourself breathing first. Pausing. Choosing your response. You're not trying to control the world. You're training your inner world so it doesn't collapse when life gets messy. You don't control everything, but you do control the movie playing in your mind. And when you start choosing those scenes with intention, life begins to shift. Not because it's easier, but because you are steadier. That's the quiet mastery Buddhism speaks of. That's the unseen training of self-mastery. So ask yourself again, what does my most mindful self look and act like? Practice being that version every day, one image at a time. Bonus lessons, the secret to a growth mindset and self-discipline. Most people wait for motivation before they move, but in Buddhism, it's the movement that creates the momentum. It's not about waiting to feel ready. It's about showing up for your own evolution, especially on the days you don't want to. Self-discipline isn't punishment. It's a form of self-respect. It's the choice to build the bridge between what you know and who you can become. Buddha said, endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures that the final victory comes. In 2025, with endless distractions at your fingertips, this endurance, this ability to stay focused on what truly matters, becomes your superpower. Discipline doesn't need to be dramatic. It can be quiet, gentle, like setting one sacred non-negotiable. 5 minutes of stillness before your day begins. That small moment is a message to your mind, I lead here. Whether you feel like it or not, you breathe, you sit, and you become present. This is how warriors of the mind train, through simplicity, consistency, and clarity. The more you repeat the small wins, the more trust you build with yourself. And that trust, that's the foundation of real self-belief. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone, it happens at the edge. That edge might be saying no when people-pleasing feels easier. It might be turning off your phone instead of scrolling. It might be choosing to journal instead of escaping into distraction. Is your comfort zone costing you your calling? This is the question that unlocks awareness. Because every time you avoid discomfort, you reinforce the belief that you're not strong enough to handle it. But every time you face it, even for a moment, you grow. And here's the shift. Don't aim for perfection, reward progress. Each time you choose discomfort consciously, you are rewiring your mind for resilience. You're proving that you are bigger than your excuses, that your future matters more than your mood. And your future self, the one who is calm, focused, grounded, they're watching. They're silently thanking you every time you rise early, every time you take a breath instead of reacting, every time you keep a promise to yourself. Discipline is devotion to your growth. It's not about controlling everything. It's about controlling your choices. One hard thing daily, that's the rule. It could be a cold shower, a walk without your phone, or sitting in silence when your mind screams for stimulation. This friction builds mental muscle, and over time, the voice that once said "I can't" becomes "I can try." Then I can learn. Then I've got this. So ask yourself, what would my future self thank me for doing today? That answer is your compass. That answer holds the next step. And when you start honoring it, day by day, drop by drop, you become the sculptor of your own mind. Not just someone who understands discipline, but someone who embodies it with grace, with power, and with peace. Quick summary of the principles. Control your thoughts, control your destiny. Every thought we empower shapes our emotions, actions, and ultimately our life. By choosing thoughts that align with peace and purpose, we design a more focused and fulfilling life. Begin with awareness, then consciously replace harmful patterns with intentional ones. The hidden architect of your life. Your subconscious mind quietly controls 90% of your decisions and behaviors. Understanding and reprogramming it requires consistent repetition of new, empowering beliefs. Feed it wisely, especially during sleep and early mornings. Your reality begins in thought. What you repeatedly think creates the filter through which you see and experience life. Negative patterns manifest struggle. Positive ones create ease. Reality doesn't begin with action, it begins with thought. Tame the inner storm. Overthinking and negative thoughts trap you in a loop of anxiety and inaction. Learn to pause, observe, and let go. You don't need to believe every thought that crosses your mind. Mindfulness is the master key. Self-awareness gives you the power to change. Practicing mindfulness allows you to respond instead of react, and it reconnects you to the present, the only place peace exists. It's the gateway to mastering your mind. Reprogram, realign, rise. The brain is highly trainable. You can rewrite internal scripts that no longer serve you with affirmations, mental imagery, and conscious behavior. Transformation begins by repeating what you want to become. Unshakable mind, unbreakable life. Resilience is about responding wisely to life's challenges. Strengthen your inner foundation through discomfort training, daily reflection, and emotional discipline. A tough mind isn't rigid, it's deeply rooted. The power of mental rituals. Daily habits shape your mental world more than dramatic events. Build a simple mental ritual, morning, midday, and evening, to reinforce clarity, peace, and direction. Success is the sum of repeated intention. Emotions are visitors, not masters. You are not your emotions, they are just passing states. Name them, observe them, and allow them to move on without attaching to them. Peace comes when you stop identifying with your feelings. Break your mental prison. Limiting beliefs are inherited or unconsciously adopted. Identify, challenge, and replace them with new empowering truths. You are not broken. You've just been following outdated mental scripts. Rewire with powerful words. Your self-talk creates your self-image. Speak to yourself with love, strength, and purpose. Words repeated with emotion change the brain and ultimately your life. See it, feel it, become it. Visualization primes your mind and body to become what you imagine. The more vividly and emotionally you rehearse your success, the more naturally you embody it. Your inner world guides your outer actions. Discipline, the engine of transformation. Discipline isn't restriction, it's your path to freedom. When you act consistently with your values, despite how you feel, you become unstoppable. Growth comes from choosing the path of effort with love. Your mind is not your enemy, it is your greatest asset, your inner temple, your compass, your creative force. But like any powerful tool, if left untamed, it can turn against you. These 13 Buddhist-inspired principles are not just ideas, they are timeless tools to help you reclaim mastery over your mental world in a noisy, chaotic era. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Emotions flare up with every scroll, and our thoughts can easily become hijacked by fear, comparison, or doubt. But Buddhism reminds us, freedom is not found in the external, but in how we relate to our own mind. Peace is a practice, power is a pattern. The moment you become aware of a thought, you are no longer enslaved by it. You are not your anxiety. You are not your overthinking. You are not your past. What you are is pure awareness, capable of redirecting, rewiring, and rising beyond every old identity. This is the path of mental mastery, and it begins with one silent realization: I can choose differently. Zen teaches us that the way out is always in. It is not the storm outside that destroys us, it's the storm we allow inside. Begin where you are. Use your breath as your anchor. Use your attention as your sword. Use your mind as your servant, not your master. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. Buddha. If this spoke to you, like and share this video. Drop your insights in the comment box. We want to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe to Deep Wisdom for more life-changing Buddhist insights to help you live a peaceful and powerful life.